In this video, I'll be showing how to replace front brake hoses on a Nissan Sentra. They are located behind the front wheels. Let's get started. Alright, first we're going to want to raise and support our vehicle. You're going to want to use a 21mm socket to remove these 5 21mm lug nuts. Let's remove our wheel. Now we could go ahead and remove the hose. Now I'm going to get a 12mm and remove this portion of the brake hose. So have a collection bucket ready, as this will leak some brake fluid out. You can now set the banjo bolt aside. And remove both washers. There's one. You can use a pick to remove it if it's being stubborn. And here's the other. Now we're going to move on to the caliper slide pin bolts. They are both 14mm. Now that my brake line is disconnected from the caliper, I'm going to go ahead and move up and remove the clip holding it. I'll be using a hammer and chisel. Now I can set it aside. I'm going to undo my brake line and remove it from the holder on the strut. Gonna make my way to the hard brake line and locate the 10mm bolt. I'm gonna move this with a wrench. Again, have a collection bucket underneath because it will leak out some brake fluid. Now we can see if it's up. Now that the bolt's free, I'm just gonna pull up and set it aside. I'm going to go ahead and locate the second hose clip. I'll be using a flat blade screwdriver and prying along the edges to break the seal. So right now you can see I'm lifting it up, breaking the seal, so I have an easier time when I remove it. Now I'm going to take some circular needle nose pliers and pull it out. So I'm going to secure it along the edges. I'm going to work it back and forth and pull. And there it is, set it aside. I'm gonna remove my hose, pull it around the strut, and there it is. Now to install our hose. So on the hose, this little nip will be pointing to the right. Now we can install it, slide it up, make sure it's flush, and now we can install our hard brake line with a 10mm wrench. So we're just going to get some threads on right there, and once it's bottoms out, we're going to snug it up. Now it's snug, I'm going to take my clip and reinstall it. I'll be using a hammer. Make sure it's flush at the bottom and slide your clip in. Now I'm going to strike it with a hammer until it's seated. As you can see, it's fully seated. Now I'm just going to give that nut one more tie-in. So once it's snug, just a quarter turn, and that's it. I'm going to wrap my hose above the axle and above the ABS wire and into its holder. That little divot, it's going to be pointing down, so slide it over. Make sure it's flush and install your clamp. I'll be using a hammer again. Now we can move along to the caliper. Now we're going to take our brake hose. I'm going to slide the bolt in with a washer on one side. Now that that's on, I'm going to grab the other washer and slide it on the other end. I'm going to slide it in. The brake hose has a little tab to align on the caliper, so it only goes on one way. So just push down and thread it in. Now I'm just going to snug this down. It is a 11 millimeter. So make sure it's tight and secure. Now with everything reassembled, we are going to proceed with our gravity bleed. I'm going to take a bottle with a hose. I'm going to crack my bleeder screw open. Put the hose over. After this, we're going to wait for a clean stream of brake fluid to come out. So, bleeder screw is cracked open. Now we see the air bubbles and brake fluid. As you can see now, we have a clean stream of brake fluid. And we can close our bleeder screw. We're just going to snug it down. Move the hose. And reinstall your bleeder cap. Now we're going to proceed to the inside of the vehicle, step on the brakes. If they are still spongy, we are going to proceed with a full brake bleed. We're going to go ahead and open our hood and locate the brake fluid reservoir and the master cylinder. Going to be taking this cap off. I'm going to set it aside for now. Now I'm going to fill up the reservoir with some clean .3 brake fluid. The max line is right here. So just fill up until it reaches it. You can see I hit my max line. Reinstall your cap. Now let's get the wheel in place and install all 5 of our lug nuts. We're going to tighten these up in a crisscross pattern. Now that my wheel is on the ground, I'm going to torque the fasteners to 83 foot-pounds in a crisscross pattern. We're going to go ahead and open our hood and locate the brake fluid reservoir and the master cylinder. Going to be taking this cap off. I'm going to set it aside for now. Reach down in here with your finger and remove the filter. Just pull it up. Now that our screen's out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and remove as much fluid as I can from the master cylinder. I'll be using a fluid extractor. Now I'm going to reinstall my screen. I'm going to slide it in. Make sure it's fully seated in the filler neck. Now I'm going to fill up the reservoir with some clean .3 brake fluid. The max line is right here. So just fill up until it reaches it. You can see I hit my max line. To start off our brake bleed, I'm going to begin at the right front and then proceed to the left front. Then I'm going to proceed to the brake fluid reservoir and top it off. After that, I'm going to go to the right rear, then the left rear, and do the same at the brake reservoir, top it off. Now that our wheel's off, I'm going to go ahead and locate the brake caliper and the bleeder screw. There's a cap on it. I'm going to remove it and set it aside. Now I have access to my bleeder screw, which is a 10 millimeter. I'm gonna get a bottle with a silicone hose. So now I have access to my bleeder screw. I'm gonna install the hose on it. I'm gonna crack it loose to get some brake fluid going and to verify it's actually flowing. So I'm gonna crack it loose. You can see we have some brake fluid trickling down. I'm gonna close it again. Before we start the brake bleed, I have somebody in the passenger compartment. To start, I'm gonna have them pump the brake approximately 3 to 5 times. I'm gonna advise them to hold it while I crack the bleeder screw loose. We're gonna do this until we see clean brake fluid flowing through our line. I have a collection receptacle under the car just in case any brake fluid comes out. Pump it.
Holding.
I'm gonna crack loose.
Floor.
Okay, release. Pump.
Holding. Floor.
Okay, release.
Holding.
And release. I gotta make sure my bleeder screw is snug. Gonna remove the hose. Now that the hose is off and the bleeder is tight, I'm gonna go ahead and get some brake cleaner, spray the area down. And wipe it down with a clean rag. Now I'm gonna install my bleeder cap. Now that I bled the first 2 brakes, you can see our level has fallen down a bit. I'm gonna go ahead and top this off again. So you can see now it's back to the max line. I'm gonna reinstall my cap. Twist clockwise and make sure it's secure. Now that my master cylinder is topped off, I'm gonna make my way to the right rear. Locate the bleeder screw, remove the cap, and set it aside. Now I can look at my bleeder screw. Do the same process. This one is an 8mm. I'm gonna put my wrench on there. And now my bottle with the hose. I'm gonna crack it loose to make sure I have flow. And close it. And now we can start bleeding. Pump it.
Holding.
Okay, open.
Floor.
Okay, closed.
Holding.
Open.
Floor.
And closed.
Holding.
Open.
Floor.
And closed. As you can see, I have no more bubbles and my fluid is clean. We're gonna repeat the process for the left rear side, and then we're gonna top off one more time. I'm gonna take some brake cleaner and a rag to clean the area. Make sure it's secure, just snug it up. And reinstall your cap. Now that we completed bleeding all of our brakes, you can see our level has gone down one more time. So I'm gonna go ahead and top this off one more time. Remove the cap. And again, get the clean .3 and 4 brake fluid and top it off to the max line. Reinstall your cap. And that completes our 4-wheel brake bleed. Go ahead and reinstall your wheels, torque them to 83 foot-pounds, take the vehicle for a test drive, make sure your brake pedal is nice and firm, and thank you for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.